Hey, welcome everybody. Thank you for this week. Yes, a lot of great comments on the Algo Optimizer. I think a lot of people respected the fact that for a mini Dow contract to hold two positions overnight, many questions were raised as to margin requirements. And yes, you need full initial margin requirement plus a little drawdown side money. So I always recommend to do two contracts, minimum $15,000. So when someone says, "Well, how did it perform?" It's tough to take a particular model and say, gee, 1 month this is what it's done. But quite frankly, this is what it's done for this month. The strategy equity up 99.20. What's the difference between the purple line and the green line? The green line is closed date traded equity, and the purple line is open trade equity. And as you can see, this is now a system that's still long two contracts and been long painfully all day. And it's kind of a scary thing, but that's what an algo trade system is. You don't watch this thing, you let it do what it's designed to do. Get you into specific trades that you may have missed or may not want to get into or didn't see or got busy. And yes, not all the trades are going to be winners, and yes, there are going to be some drawdowns, but if there's volatility and movement in the market and it's a decent system, it'll capture some of these moves. Once again, this particular system, as I've been sharing with a lot of you have been asking about it, is this is the performance from year to date, and as you can see, the performance graph, this is a day trade system. That's all this is. It's a day trade system on the the mini Dow contract, and it only has traded since the beginning of the year, and it only does two contracts, not four. It doesn't vacillate. It's not varying into 4 and 6 and 8 positions. It just does two simple contracts. And yes, really kind of wish the short side we turned that off in hindsight. That would have been nice, right? But when you look at the profit factor when it goes long, it's a 3.07 rating figure. When you look at the return on account, it's pretty sick, but we don't look at that as account size required. We also want to pay attention to the max drawdown levels and what we're accustomed to. Some people really like that factor. I am not one who will say, hey, as I've said before, turn off the short side of the market, because there's going to be a day I want to be short. And again, the settings on this particular system do not trade 24 hours. In fact, the Algo Optimizer trades between 3:40 and 2:30 in the afternoon. It doesn't take trades before the Asian session. So if there's no new trades after 2:30 in the afternoon, it may miss a trade. So this does not go on all the time. But I think right now, as you can see, we're for the month up 10,060, new equity high for this particular product. The of course, performance graph is it's right up here against the high, and a really incredible way to start the month. Are all months like this? No, but this is certainly, if we can get some more volatility and two-sided trading in the market, it's going to be phenomenal to have this thing, or at least get your hands on learning more about the Algo Optimizer. Anyway, that's the current position long right now, and again, this will flatten. I will manually override this for the weekend, just to let you know. Because one of two reasons why. I don't want to be, if it's not out of the trade, I don't want to hold it over the weekend, number one. And number two, we have earnings coming out. Number three, we have next week a ton of earnings. And with anything that can happen, this is kind of an anomaly of this type of movement. And I think it's best to override a little bit of the system and its max performance. So anyway, that's just my 2 cents and what we were doing with the mini Dow. And I know a lot of you have been following the videos that we've updated, and I thought we'd just follow up and say, well, how is it done for the end of the week? Because this is Friday, and this is how it's done at the end of the week. It went long at approximately 11 this morning, and is still holding that long position. Thank you, everyone. And if this thing ever concludes between now and the close, we'll keep you posted. So we're trading now with about 20 minutes left into the close on a Friday, and I told you I'd give you an update. We're still long. If we go to real quick here, format the window, or view data window, excuse me, you'll notice it is exactly 240, and we're still stuck with this long position here. We've gone a little over 10,000 and change a couple times on an intraday basis. with this position up to its highs. At this point, you could override a system, but at the very least, what you want to do is kind of like use it as a guide. I would say that in the next minute or so, we'll see if it wants to exit, so that you can just see what the system is designed to do. So here we just concluded a bar, and as you can see, it's still a little flashing arrow right there. That's an indicator. For you that have, for those that have Thinkorswim, you would call that would be the indicator known as the PPS indicator. It gives buy and selling pressure or bullish and bearish momentum changes in the marketplace. This already has a built-in defined area of where to take a profit, as well as a trailing stop mechanism. Right now, still says to be long the market, and that's an algo. From a discretionary trader's perspective, I think a lot of us would probably have said, you know what, we broke out, we're getting close to the wire here. You can punch out of the trade and simply just turn it off and stop trading. But for purposes for performance sake and seeing exactly how it works, we like to let things run as they're supposed to. So we'll keep you abreast. All right, we have approximately 4 minutes to the cash market closing, and we go to view data window. You can see the time. Current price print is the last few minutes of, and again, this is Central Time, 1500, or exchange time, which is CME time. So the moral of the story is, here we have a position that is still managing to work itself, and you can see as the open trade equity, continues just to climb. It will get out either manually in another hour by me, or it will be getting out structurally with its built-in trailing stop function. So that just as an update right there. We'll continue to note the progress and to see how it's, just to let you know. When you think you know everything, you don't. That's why you let algo systems run to a degree, and you try to have the trailing stop feature built in and a max profit target. So in this environment, anything goes in the market. So that's why we use an algo system like this. Boy, this thing is just rocketing up to the upside, gang, up 10,360. As you can see, the equity of this thing is just exploding right after the cash market close. There's no end in sight, it seems. Maybe perhaps we have day traders trying to cover their short positions into the close here. Well, can't make this story up. Look what it did. It trailed the stop. It did what it was supposed to do. The market popped up, and before, as you can see, it popped up, and as it pulls back, it trails the stop. New equity high for the month of the two-lot trading system in the mini Dow of the Person Algo Optimizer program. So I'm not sure we can argue with the fact that this is a pretty decent gain on trading two lots on mini Dow futures. This is not trading 5 lots and 2 lots and 1 lot. It's consistently trading 2 lots, and there is max contract held 2 contracts. So not bad for a choppy, sloppy market environment. It's been a wonderful month so far, and I look forward to sharing with you more methodologies of the algo program as the weeks and months progress for 2018. Thanks, everybody, for watching.